Imagine this. You're just standing there, minding your own business, then out of nowhere, your legs turn to jelly and you collapse. According to the American Journal of Neurology, 0.5 to 1% of the US population suffers from epilepsy in some way. Epilepsy is a neurological disease that causes electrical disturbances in the brain, which can cause seizures. Today I want to briefly talk to you as a college student with epilepsy about epilepsy and how it can affect college students. And by the end of this speech, I hope that you have a better understanding of epilepsy and realize just how stressful it can make the college life. And when it comes to epilepsy, stress is the last thing that you want. Epilepsy or seizures can be triggered by a number of different circumstances. These can be external, like flashing lights or hot water, or they can be internal, like emotional stress, mood, sleep deprivation, or alcohol. And when a seizure occurs, it's usually accompanied by passing out and convulsions that can last for several minutes. Now let's take a step back and look at those three internal triggers again. We got sleep deprivation, stress, and alcohol. And I promise you, you will never find yourself in a bigger cesspit of those three things than when you are on a college campus. According to the Alcohol Rehab Guide, 50% of the 80% of students that drink at college campuses participate in binge drinking, which is when one consumes a dangerous amount of alcohol in a short amount of time. So they go a little overboard with the happy juice. According to the Journal of the National Sleep Foundation, 70 to 96% of college students admit that they do not get 8 hours or more of sleep each night. Now these two factors together is enough to put anybody under a lot of stress, but for a student with epilepsy, it'll make things especially challenging. But things aren't hopeless. There are many ways to manage epilepsy if you're a person with epilepsy. And one of these is to get on a specific diet. A good example is the keto diet, which is a low sugar, low carb diet that has been clinically proven to prevent seizures in young kids. Another thing to help with managing epilepsy is exercise. It improves energy, mood, and relieves stress. So it's a great way to stay in shape in college and manage your epilepsy. So there are certain things that a college student with epilepsy needs to look at when they decide to go off on their own. They need to worry about sleep, setting a good sleep schedule for themselves, not binge drinking every night, and managing their stress. In order to live the best college life, a student with epilepsy needs to be sure to take the necessary precautions to prevent seizures. I hope you all have a better understanding of the challenges that students with epilepsy face. And remember, epilepsy and the typical college life do not mix, and a student with epilepsy needs to understand that they may need to do certain things that their peers do not need to do to have a safe college experience. But they have to be able to make that sacrifice and be able to control themselves so that they can have a happy college experience that is successful. My sources are the American Journal of Neurology, the National Journal of the American Sleep Foundation, and the alcoholrehabguide.org. Thank you very much for your time.
Candace?